Hello, this is Daniel, filming a Dr. Tech video. Going to looking at setting up a Roku 2. This is one of the new set of Rokus that came out. Came with the Roku device here. It's pretty on the front, and then on the back here we have your cables for setting it up. Right here you have on the left, right there, that one right there is the power connection. That's where you plug in this to plug in the wall for power. That connector right there. That's what you plug into that hole. Then you got your regular RCA or AV jacks. Of course, you do yellow to yellow, red to red, and white to white. And then this connection here is for your HDMI connection. That's probably the easiest one to hook up if you've got that on your television. It looks the same on the back of your TV as it does on this device. You just plug in one end here and one end on the other, and then plug in the power like I told you earlier, and then then we'll start the setup, which I'll show you here in just a little bit. So it comes with the Roku, the power adapter. It also comes with a set of AV cords. So if you have the older style television, you can use these to hook it up. It does not come with an HDMI connector. So if you want to run HD, you'll have to get a HDMI cable separately. This does come with headphones. You might ask, why would that come with headphones? Because this remote control right here is really, really cool. It's got a headphone jack on it. So if you want to listen to your shows or movies and someone else is already sleeping and you don't want to disturb them, you can plug in your headphone jack and you can adjust your volume here for your hearing, and then you can select what you want to watch. And it's got a standard D-pad remote. OK button's been moved down here instead of in the center like the old one. And now it's added several other options here. These are just shortcut buttons. These are kind of their what's mainly used on Roku, so they add these here for shortcuts. Otherwise you have to go through the menus to get to what you want. Alright, I'm going to hook it up, and then I'll kind of show you how to get it going from the setup screen. I got the power plugged in the outlet already, so because that's behind everything, a little hard to get to. But then you just plug this in here to hook this up to power, and then we plug this in to get it hooked up into the television. As you can see, the Roku is now booting up on the television. I'll try to get the focus better on the camera here. There you go. Here we can select our language. We got Dutch at the top. It defaults to English, and then as you can see, I'm doing that by using the oops, I guess I do need the light on. We can see what I'm doing here by using the up and down arrows on the remote control to do that. When you select the language that you want, you press the OK button on the remote control, and it selects what you want. So now it's going to tell us to connect to our network, and get the latest software, and then activate our Roku. These are the different steps that it's going to take us through to get this Roku set up on the TV. So I hit continue by clicking the OK button on the remote. Here it's going to list several Wi-Fi networks that are just broadcasting. My Wi-Fi is not broadcasting, so I'm going to go down to the very bottom here, and I'm going to put my Wi-Fi in. So it's a private network SSID. So I'll hit OK. Then it's going to ask me to put it in. Alright, after you type in your SSID, then you click Done, and it's going to come up with this question saying, is your wireless network secure? And this is where, if it's secure, you can select yes or no. If you put in yes, it's going to ask for the security information. For this demonstration, we're not playing with security. So now it's going to go through the process of connecting to the wireless network, and then I think what I'll do is I'll probably cut this bit out if it takes a while. That way I can save you some time depending how quickly it goes. Actually, it's going pretty quick, so I think we'll be okay to go. Now it's going to want to update the software. This is something you got to go through with most devices because they ship it out, and unfortunately, software updates come out while sitting in the box on the store shelf. So I click continue with the OK button, and I click it again, and now it's going to download, and I'll stop the camera so you don't have to wait for that, and I'll start it up when it's ready to go again. Okay, so the Roku actually rebooted a couple times there, and now it's going to ask me to activate my Roku. If you don't already have a Roku account set up, I'll walk you through how to do that a little bit later. But basically, if you already have a Roku account set up, you'll log into Roku at Roku.com, and then you go to Roku.com/link, and you put in that 4-digit code, the 4PDX. Well, your code will be different than mine, but what your code says, you'll plug that into your Roku page on the internet, and that will link up your Roku device with your Roku account, and that's what keeps track of the channels that you add. So I'll go ahead and get that taken care of, and I'll show you how to set that up. Thanks. Okay, we're back at my computer now, and this is the Roku homepage. I'm sorry for the shaky camera. I do not have a tripod that'll fit back here right now to hold this steady. But this is the Roku homepage, and if you look up here, there at the top, there's a please sign in. If you don't have a Roku, there's the button to buy one. So I'm going to click on that please sign in button, or link. It's not really a button, but it's got a lighter shade of gray here, so it's a little easier to make out from the rest of the menus. And so we click on sign in, and now here it's going to give you, if you already have the account set up, you can sign in over here. And if you don't, you can create a Roku account. Now, I was thinking I'd make another video for that, but I'll go ahead and show you how this works. So you just click on create account, and then it's just going to ask you for some basic information like your first name, last name, email address, and a password that you'd like to use. And you can verify whether you're 18 years or older and agree to the terms of service. And from there, you'll just basically fill out the form and click next. There's only 3 pages to this to fill out. And if there's any credit card information or anything for any paid-for channels, you can use those. However, the free channels don't require. I think the account still requires a card, but it doesn't charge you anything for those free channels when they're free. And some channels do require service. A service fee for using those channels, such as Netflix. But they do have other channels that are free, like Crackle, where you can get free movies, and you can also use Puddy Hub, which is fun for getting older content. And they have a paid-for service and a free service. All right, well, we're going to back up here at my back button, and then I'm going to sign into my account, and then I'll kind of show you how to link this device up. Okay, so I got signed in, and then I put into my link at the top the Roku.com/link, and it changed it to owner.roku.com. /link, and so don't be surprised for that. And then here it says please enter your link code from your TV. So we'll put in turn my caps lock on, PD. Oops, sorry about the camera again. There we go. Gotta type it correctly. And then after you get that typed in, you click on submit. And now my Roku is registered to my account, and it's got a few things over here. It's showing me a summary. I guess what's already on there. I haven't looked at it on the TV yet since I just did it back here on the computer. And then it's offering some channels that I could add to it. Now I could go ahead and select my channels back here. but I'm not going to do that. I'll show you how to add the channels from your Roku device. You can do it from your computer though. It just depends on what's more convenient for you, and you can check those options like what's listed there for free, and that way those will be the free ones to add. However, Vudu, I do think they have a subscription. They're subscription based. It's a free channel to add it, but you need to pay for the content that's on it. I do also think there's some movies at Walmart that double up on if you buy the movie at Walmart, they have a, if you look for the Vudu icon, it'll you can put in the code on their website and have a digital copy of it to play on your Roku as well. So anyway, I'll head back up front to my television and show you how to add channels and set things up from there. Thanks. Okay, now this is a little new to me. I came back to my television and the Roku's already adding some channels. I have selected a couple things to add to it, and I didn't realize it might be adding so many. What it might be doing is adding some from my first Roku account. Now the screensaver's kicked in, so if you don't do anything for a while, the screensaver's going to kick in. I'm going to stop the video for now, and then when it's done adding those channels, you can see what's on my screen, and I'll show you how to add a few channels after that. So what's going on here? I was right, it is adding channels from my other Roku. I had another Roku account set up for another Roku device. So what it's doing right now is it is going through a process after I linked it up to my account, and it's now adding the channels that I had added to the old Roku to the new one. Now if this is your first Roku, you won't go through this waiting process like I'm going through. It might, however, do that if you select those channels that I showed you on the website and then clicked to apply those to your account. Then it would probably go through this process to add those channels. In the meantime, I just had so many channels. This is just taking some time. I wanted to kind of do this while it's still going on, so you can kind of see it and I can kind of explain it what it's doing. Once again, I'll stop the camera so you don't have to wait with me while this updates, and I'll start it up again when it's done. Thanks. Okay, that's all done now, and what I got on the screen here is setup is complete. Everything looks great. Now let's start streaming. So I down in the lower right hand corner has OK is selected, so I hit my OK button, and it's going to take me to my Roku homepage where it shows my channels. I'm going to show you how to add a couple channels first before we get going, because if you're starting a brand new Roku, you may not have any channels added yet. So on the Roku, and this is where I said you could set up channels on the computer before, or you can do it here on the TV itself, because once that setup process is done, you almost don't need to go back to the computer again. So I'll click on OK on Channel Store. Now this is a little new for me because I just got done using the old Roku, and this is the first time I've had this one out of the box. So some things are a little new to me, and I'm kind of going through this as kind of an I just took it out of the box. So you're kind of going through this part with me a little bit. This is the newer store that they have. This section here is going to show you all the new channels that have just recently been added on the Roku device. This one's going to show you the most popular. Since I'm doing this specifically for Dr. Tech video on the My Worldview page, or I guess it's just myworldview.com now. It's a social media site for Christians, conservatives to come and without feeling like they're being censored by Facebook's views. So here we're going to go down to our religion and spirituality channel. Since this is done for Dr. Tech itself, and that's done by Worldview Weekend or Brandon House, I'm going to show you how to add his Worldview page, his Worldview channels. Now, if you're first going to come in here, you're going to notice there's a lot of stuff on here that's not Christian, that it's all just lumped together. So you're going to have to kind of float through some of these channels, and I do that by just pressing the up and down on the remote. And I know this is kind of basic. Some people may not need all of the tips that I'm throwing in, but others might. Oh, here's a good channel while we're on the subject of religion. It's got sermonaudio.com's channel. They have a site of some great sermons. Once again, just be discerning about which sermons you pick, but they got Leonard Ravenhill and as well as Mike Hoggard and several others that are good to listen to. I'm going to keep going. I think what I'll do is I'll pause it until I find it, and then I'll show you how to add it. Okay, here is Worldview Tube. This is the free channel. If you don't have a Situation Room account and you want to see like the preview videos, this is the channel you'll want to add. And so I tap on the OK button. Now I already have this channel, so at the top where it says go to channel, if you don't already have this channel added, it's going to have an add channel option here, and so you'll select that and it's going to add that channel to your Roku device. Now if I click it here, it's going to take me to the channel directly, and you basically would add these channels the exact same way as you would the paid for channel. I'll show you that one here in just a minute so you can see what that one looks like, and then I'll show you the channels themselves and how to link those to your Roku device, because this one's free. It'll work as soon as you add it. The subscription-based channel, you will need to link it to your Situation Room account first. So I'll show you that, and then we'll show you how to link it to your Situation Room account, and then we'll move on from there. Thanks. And here is the Situation Room Roku channel. It's free to add it, but it does require that you sign up, subscribe to the Situation Room, so that will actually cost the subscription fee to actually watch it. If the Roku setup, when you set up your account, will ask you to set up a PIN number, so that if you do add something that does require money, it's going to ask you to enter a PIN first. So there's no way to accidentally purchase something on the Roku. You don't need to be afraid about accidentally spending some money that you weren't prepared to, because it's going to specifically ask for that 4-digit security code first. So anyway, we added these channels. So after that, I'm going to hit the home button to take us back to our home. It's going to add, now if those channels hadn't been added before, it's going to then add those channels to your Roku, much like it was showing before when it was adding the channels from my previous account. And then we go into, I tapped right on the D-pad to get over to my channels. You can also hit the OK button. And now I'm going to come down here to, actually I'm going to search around because they've rearranged my channels, and I will find the channel and come back to you when I find it. Thank you. All right, I want to show you something here. In case they do, if you had an old Roku and you added your new Roku and they do switch all your channels around like they did with mine, that's because it added them from scratch. It just put them all however it added it, and not in the order I had it on my old Roku. What you actually have is, let me close this menu here, and what you actually have on the remote control is this star next to the OK button. If you tap on that star, it's going to bring up another menu, and just below, 3 down, it says Move Channel. I don't know if you can read that because my little screen on this camera doesn't display the text very well, but it might show up better on camera when I'm done. So I'm going to tap OK on my remote, and then I'm going to scroll up and place the Worldview tube in position on my Roku where I want it to be, so it's easier to find. I tapped up a couple times. It fights me a little bit, so you might find a few glitches here and there. And then I'm going to move it up where I can find it, where I want it. I'm going to go and do that with the other one, and then when they're in position, I'll show you how to use them. Okay, so I've got my Worldview tube and my Worldview Weekend Situation Room side by side now. Now that I've got this moved where I wanted it, I'm going to hit the OK button to put it in place. Now it's going to be there on my screen close to the top, so I can find it better next time. And then it just takes a little time to kind of put these channels. I usually put my most used channels near the top. My lesser used ones go down near the bottom. So we'll try out Worldview 2 first. This is going to be the free one, so there's not going to be too much. There's not going to be any more setup with this channel. This channel is now added. It's going to look for content. The great thing about this channel is Brandon puts on a different show. You can check out the schedule on worldviewweekend.com and of his shows. You can watch the shows on the computer. Also, you can watch them here now on your television. I'm too used to doing this on my own. But when at the top it says TV, you can press left and right and switch between videos or TV. Now TV is what's currently on there for their television program. This is a full television program that's freely available through the Worldview tube, and after a couple days he'll switch it out with a new show. So you tap the OK button on your remote. Now if there were other videos you could select those, but it's just this one. So you would hit OK again to watch it, and now it's going to give you a details in this video. It's Danny Faulkner on astronomy, or he's got a PhD in astronomy, and answers the following questions: what are comets and what makes up a comet? And then you can press OK to play the video, and it's going to load the video up and play it on your television. And you have Mike. This is Mike Riddle's show. It's a good one, but we're not going to watch it here. If you want to watch it, you can add it to your own Roku and watch it on there. Okay, I just pressed up on my D-pad to exit the video. If you haven't used this before, that might be handy. You can also press this back button to back out of almost anything. And then if you ever need to go back to your home screen, you can press the home button again. I prefer using the up button because it doesn't back out. Sometimes back button can back you out of a couple menus. Up generally just backs you out of the current thing that you're in and what you're in into your previous screen. If you want to watch the sample video clips, you can go to the video section where Brandon has samples of the videos that are available in his Situation Room. So you can watch 20 minutes or so of a video, and here is where you have more than one video, and you can use the left right on the D-pad to select what you'd like to watch. Press OK, and it's going to give you a brief description on the bottom of the screen here. The title's up at the top. If this isn't what you wanted, or you want something else, you don't have to back out to that last screen with the long row of programs. You can, from here, you can press left or right, and it will go to the next program in that list, and now you have the title and the show description again. I'm going to press the up option and back us up out to the, so that we're at the main title bar right there, and I've got it on video. I'm going to show you here where you have the audio. And what's great about this is you have access to all of the audio that's available at worldviewweekend.com. So you can listen to the Worldview Weekend radio programs, the Usama Daktuk's Truth About Islam audio programs, and these are the audio that you would hear on the on their various radio programs that they all of those guys have on that website. There's a more option here. I think this is if you have something specifically you want to search for, you would want to select this one. And then there's also just the basic software information. You probably won't go to these very often unless you're curious about the I'll just go into this. Mostly, this is going to give you some information about the Situation Room to subscribe to the full channel, so you can actually see the full videos that you see the demos of on this channel here. And then I'm going to, in this case, I can press this back down here. I can press OK to back out of this. And there's also info. This will give you some information about the software. And then if you wanted to search for specific videos or radio programs or hosts, then you can then type those in over here, and then your recent searches will appear here, and then it'll give you your shows that you put in to search for. All right, I'm going to switch to the other one. So I'm going to use my back button here, and we're going to back out to the main screen. And now I'm going to go to the Situation Room. Now this is the one that we had to subscribe to. I'm going to be in for a bit of a surprise here, because I don't know if this did not. Okay, this is what happens when you first add the Situation Room Roku channel to a Roku that doesn't have the Situation Room set up on it. It's going to give you a code just like the Roku did when you linked it to the Roku page to set up your channels. It's going to set up a code so that your subscription with Situation Room, you'll now go to your Situation Room account, you'll sign into it at worldviewweekend.com, and you'll put in a /Roku at the back. There, it's going to actually ask for a code. It'll ask for this code right here. I'm going to get that set up on my computer so you can see me type that in, and then I'll show you on the TV that after, I'm sorry, I bumped the camera. After you set this up on your computer, on your television, it will instantly go into the channel to show you your programs that you can watch on this channel. As you may notice, we're still in my living room. I was excited about doing this video, so you might be wondering, why am I doing it in my living room now instead of back at the computer? It's because in my excitement, I forgot that I could hook up the laptop to the television to show you using the tripod. So here's the last screen from our Roku device giving us our code MM, and that you'll have a different code than I do. So what we're going to do, we got to put in that web address up there where it says worldviewweekend.com/Roku, and I will change my channel now so you can see my computer screen. And I'm already at www.worldviewweekend.com. I will put in my /Roku at the end. Any channel that has a subscription will pretty much walk you through a similar process, so you can use what I'm showing you here on other Roku channels also that require subscription. So we finished putting in Roku. I'll press enter. That's now going to take us to the instructions page. This is where you'll put in your Worldview Situation Room email address and your password. In my case, it's already going to fill out my password information, and then we'll put in our Roku code. Okay, I got my code number punched in now, and if you'd like written instructions to what I've been telling you here, if it's easier to read it rather than listening to this video is just meant to give you kind of a visual idea of how all this is done. So if you'd rather see it before you actually try it, that's what this video's purpose is to do. And it's got some instructions down here to follow if you scroll down, and it's got different links here that you can go to add this channel. But once you've got your code and your login information, you can now click on link, and the website should confirm that we've successfully linked our Roku device to our Situation Room account. That might take a little time. And now it gives you a message saying your Roku has been successfully linked. Please return to your Roku where it should update automatically, and it should update automatically. So we'll channel back down to my Roku device, and it's now got its screensaver turned on because it's not had any input from me for a while. And it's going to have congratulations, you've successfully linked your Roku player to your account. Select start to begin. So select start is already selected. It's right down there at the bottom of the screen, and you just press the OK button on the remote. And this is a lot like the free version, so I don't think I'll go through how to navigate this again. With the exception that now, when you have your videos, these are the full programs and not just 20-minute samples of these programs. And these will have his Branson DVDs, the different TV programs that he's done, as well as, if you go back up to the top and then over to audio, you're going to have the full archive of all of the radio programs here. And so you'll have much more with the Situation Room if you spend money on that. It's a good value because you get a lot of information here. And there's no TV part here, so if you still want to watch the live TV show, but the live TV show should be down here. I think it comes in here after it's been broadcast on the free Worldview tube. And then you can watch the full program here too if you missed it. So if you need to catch up on ones that you missed. Well, that's a real brief general way to set up a Roku device for your Wi-Fi. Link it with your computer, and then how to add a couple channels. One that was completely free and didn't require any extra work on the computer. And then you also saw how to subscribe to a channel that you are subscribed to over the internet and link it to your Roku. And for that, you do need a computer to link those two things up with, so that you can put in your code on the website and let that link to the Roku device. Anyway, this video will be posted at Dr. Tech on the myworldview.com, and if you have any questions, post it in the comments. I'll be glad to do the best I can. If I end up posting this on YouTube, I don't think I will be answering as many comments there. I'm just not on YouTube enough to be able to answer questions there or to take comments or things there. If I do catch something, I might reply, but I can't make any promises at this point. Thank you for watching. We'll see you online. Thanks.